Let's talk about those baseball wild cards. Game 2, shall we? So the Dodgers made small time work of the Cincinnati Reds as they go on to play the Philadelphia Phillies. The Reds had a pretty good season, but if the Dodgers play at their best, you see why they're the world champions. Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts showing out. Freddie Freeman, the usual crew. The problem with the Dodgers is their bullpen. Can they get their bullpen together? Because you can't play Philadelphia getting up those kind of runs when you have leads. You have to score 8 runs every game to win. You're going to have problems. But they definitely made quick work of the Reds, and I expect the Dodgers. If the Dodgers get it together, they're going to be the team to beat. But the Phillies will be feisty. You know, you got some real firepower in Philly, so we will see how that emerges. But the Reds had a pretty good season, though. Nothing to hold their hats down to. You just lost to a better team. That's all. Elsewhere, Padres finally showed up. Makata got on off the schneid and hit a home run. The Cubs have to score runs against the Padres. If the Padres' big bats don't show up, they don't win. It's pretty simple, but it really, you have to explain it. The Padres have to attack. That's how they're going to beat the Cubs. It's pretty much the situation. Makata, Tejadas, they have to come to prepared to bring the wood. Cubs, don't mind a close game. Padres have to do what they did. So they did what they were supposed to do, and they survived another day. So very impressive win where that's concerned. Cleveland spanked Detroit. They just did what they supposed to have done the first game. They got to score runs. Detroit has been free falling since after the All-Star break. They have arguably the best pitcher going in the American League, etc. But their bats have definitely quieted quite considerably. This is where Cleveland is always one of those teams that if they're kind of like the Padres of the American League. When they're on, they're on. But when they're off, they're off. And when they're on, they're as dangerous as any team because they can pile up runs. The problem is, can they hang on to games? So it's going to be real interesting how this series goes. But one thing I'm seeing is that certain these teams, you can see their strengths and their weaknesses pretty glaringly. And it was a matter of who's going to have the final say when you look at these two teams. So I expect it to be a real interesting battle when it gets back to Detroit. And we'll see how it all plays out, though. But wild card baseball weekend has definitely been on and popping. And this is definitely a good showing when you have these teams involved. Because it's a very, very close. And last but not least, as a Yankees fan, they beat Boston, but it took the 4-3. It was a close game. The Yankees and Boston are pretty much identical at this stage. It's just a matter